What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the FIFA 18 Road to Glory, episode number 31 today. And in today's episode, guys, we have finally got another Elite 2 finish. It feels so good to say that, man. It feels so good. And we're starting to hit that Elite stride once again. On top of that, we've also got some Elite 2 squad battles rewards to open up, and we're going to go through all the gameplay. But today, guys, I want to talk and discuss about what I did differently this weekend, what happened throughout this week, and differences in my mentality and what I was doing. And I really do think this contributed to my 32 wins, especially since I had so little time to play this weekend. And you guys would have known that last week we only got 29 because I went 1-7. But this weekend, guys, was a good weekend. It was a very good weekend. And one of the things I did to change was I decided to change my mentality to take the blame off the game and put it on myself. And like, obviously I can't do this throughout the entirety of the weekend because I'm not at the stage where I can control the game to a point where I don't think there's BS. Obviously the pros like can analyze and see the game extremely well, and they see that there's no BS in this game, and they know how to manipulate the game to that point. But there's some times where you just feel like the game's sort of against you, the bounces are all going their way, but it's all just RNG. Let's be honest, it's happening to your opponent at the same amount of time that's happening to yourself. So that's the first thing I decided to change. And the second thing I decided to change was I decided to collect all the data. So I was collecting times that I was playing my matches, time in between matches, how many games I was playing in a row. I was collecting the players I was playing up against so I could check how they are doing in general in Weekend League. And on top of that, I was checking or not their teams, how they were playing, all that sort of stuff. And one thing I noticed, guys, was I was getting a considerable amount of losses due to me playing at the end of a streak. Right here, guys, is the end of my 7-0 streak, because you guys would have known 13-3 we were, and now we are 20-3. This was my final game of the night, I believe. And we come up against Starved Asian, who has got an insane team, and he's actually a pretty decent player. Like, I want to say, no, he's not that good of a player just because of his team, but he's a decent player. Let's not get that twisted. He finished Elite 1 this weekend. That's pretty decent. But the thing was, guys, is that I've beaten this dude before, maybe once or twice. I've beaten him with a 3-0 rage quit, and I believe maybe a 2-1 victory, something along those lines. And the thing is that in this game, guys, I just was not concentrating. At the end of like a 7-8 game streak, you're just like, oh, come on, just let me get through this game. Let me get through this game. We need to quit. We need to just stop playing FIFA at that point. Especially when it comes to this team, you'll see that a lot of my times, and you'll see from the post-game stats, I only had 4 shots on target. Why was this? Was because I was not able to get the ball into his half. I was just not able to do it. And the thing is that it wasn't him defending outstandingly, it was me attacking poorly. I was rushing chances, I was rushing my players out of position, and I just wasn't playing well. As you guys can see, I'm full on sprint here with Rui Costa, and yes, this does work out in my favor in the end. Ronaldo with a great dummy, and then a double tap past the keeper to make it 3-1. However, it's often the times where you're just sprinting constantly, and this is what I do a lot. When I get frustrated in FIFA, I just sprint constantly, and I think there was at least 4 or 5 games where I did this weekend, and I managed to, I recorded each of these down. I was like, you sprinted too much here, you were diving too much in with the players, and good players can do that to you. They can frustrate you to the point where you want to get the ball back, and that's not what we need to do. We need to stand our ground, we need to hold our ground so we don't bring players out of position. And the good thing about collecting all this data is that I can start to see trends now. I can see trends that I'm often losing matches where I've played a lot of games in a row. I can see matches where I'm coming up against great players, and they normally play like either late Sunday, Monday, or on top of that, they also play at the night time. So maybe I avoid those times, but you never know. The matchmaking is how it is. It could be just a situation where the elo is just favoring me to play harder players later in the day. I don't know what it is, but what I do have to say, guys, is that I think over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to continue collecting this data, and hopefully we can start to see some trends in how everyone is performing and all that sort of stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm performing well, but I do want to improve. I want to get up to the Elite 1 standard, because the Elite 1, they give us so much more rewards. They give us 25,000 more coins, 1 more 100k pack more, and 1 Team of the Week pack more. That's 6 more informs. That's potentially like double the amount of profit. Like, there is so much more profit to be made when you start to hit that Elite 1 stride. And the thing is, guys, is I honestly think if I was concentrating throughout all my games this weekend, I could have done it. I believe there was at least 3 games where I could have easily won, but I just was playing badly. And that's my fault. That is my fault. And it's all down to the fact that I'm just not playing to the standard that I want to play. I don't think this weekend was actually better than last weekend. Last weekend, I believe I was playing a lot better. This weekend, I just was more concentrated and I was more calm throughout my games. And that's why I didn't go on that losing streak. Right here, we're going to be claiming our Elite 2 Squad Battles rewards. And in these rewards, we actually get some pretty nice rewards. I just want to talk about this Vitaly Rocky squad. I don't believe this is his squad for Foot Champs, just because he has a silver player in it, and let's be honest, he probably has an insane team. But the thing I want to say is that it's just so fascinating to me how the players within the community, I'm talking like Castro first of all we've seen, now we see Vitaly Rocky, how these big figures within the esports and FIFA community are now going into the actual game. How crazy is that? Well, like, I remember back to FIFA 14 where we saw like a player card and we're like, oh my days, this 99 rated player card. And I just feel like FIFA in general has developed so much as a gameplay, just as a community. I think a lot of the times we blame FIFA a lot too much. But to see the development of this game, back from FIFA 14, where Ronaldo was like 6-7 million coins, to the point where I can afford him now onto a road to glory, where I can play Foot Champs and squad battles. We didn't have this 2-3 years ago. I have to congratulate EA for making this game accessible to the players who don't spend thousands and thousands of dollars. And you can play this game, and if you're decent at the game, you can get good rewards. Right here, we get Glick, who's going to sell for about 10,000-11,000 coins, which is pretty nice. And of course, I'm saving that Jumbo Rare Players Pack for the Team of the Group stage. I'm also going to be saving this week's one as well, so we're going to have 2 100k packs to try and get some Team of the Group stage players. But what I do want to say, guys, is that hopefully by collecting this data, I can start to see some data points where I'm losing unnecessary matches. And this is why I want to get to the point too, is where I can try and manipulate my games in order to give me the best chance to try and progress in Weekend League. And I don't know if it's going to work out in the end. This could all just be placebo after a pretty good weekend for me. But it's definitely something I want to try and do. Now, this final game, as you guys can see, we're 31-8, so we need to win this match to get Elite 2, and we come up against Taboo UK, who actually finished 32nd in the region. I had a pretty good discussion with him, and he actually finished 32-8 as well. And I believe my first match against him was actually a 3-2 win in the 120th minute. So I knew this game was going to be extremely tough. I was going to have a hard one right there. Ronaldo with a beautiful drag back into that double tap finesse, double tap into the bottom left corner. And we're going to go 1-0 up here. And the thing is, guys, is that the great thing about this, the whole data collection, is that I know every single opponent I come up against. If I come up against them again, I know the sort of play they play. I know this dude was going to go into a 4-2-3-1. I know he was a great possession player, and I knew that he was going to be a tough opponent. So I had to try and counter that somehow. What a great goal there by Pogba. A round of applause to him. Just sends De Gea the wrong way. And this was a sort of game which was really, really tough. But I think, honestly, me and him are very even players. This was like a game that could have gone either way, and it was just like a really, really tough opponent. You can see I'm having trouble breaking him down. We finally get a match to get another drag back there from Ronaldo. I'm loving that drag back, by the way. And Martial's able to get a very lucky rebound. As I could say, guys, this could have gone either way, and we could have lost both games against this dude. We could have won both games against this dude, but we managed to get the W, and that's going to put us on Elite 2, and it's very, very nice to finally see us get another Elite 2 finish, which means we get 100,000 coins. On top of that, we also get a 100k pack and 3 informs. But the good thing about this is that I know how to play going into the next few weekends, and I'm going to try a few things. Hopefully I can spread out my games nicely, and hopefully we can slowly progress up to Elite 1. That's the goal. That's all we want to do. We want to try and slowly get 33 wins, and then 34 wins, and slowly get up to the point where we're becoming a better and better FIFA player. That is all I want to do. That's the goal and drive with this series, is obviously we want to build the best team possible. That's always what we want to do, but getting 32 wins and then slowly progressing up to being one of the top players in the region is one of my goals, and I definitely want to try and get there eventually. I believe we're sat around 36th position wise, so I think that's pretty good. And on top of that, guys, we also are in a great monthly standing because now we've knocked out 4 games off the 28 per week, so now we can go like a 24 weekend if I really need to, and I might need to during Christmas. I'm not sure how much time I'm going to be able to play weekend, but we're going to have to see how we do. Now, coming up right here, guys, in a few seconds, I'm not sure when the clip is going to show through, but I'm actually going to show you my squad right here. We're going to show you my new squad battles team, and I decided to try out this team just because we have so many red cards that are so phenomenal, and a lot of them are great super subs. Kolasinac, first of all, same with Kimmich, same with Tolisso. Origi's pretty good, and of course, we have the big boy Christian Eriksen linking up with Heung-min Son. And of course, this team isn't on 100 chemistry. Oh, it is on 100 chemistry, but of course, not everyone is on 100 chemistry. And I'm not really liking Herdecki too much, but I thought it was just be an interesting team, so I'd let you guys know. And this is what I'm going to be using in squad battles. To be honest, guys, I'm not too fussed. I know a lot of people are pushing towards Ultimate now, but I'm not too fussed about moving towards Ultimate myself. I'm not really too fussed about playing squad battles anymore. As long as I'm getting consistent Elite 2, Elite 1 rewards, that's all I care about. And obviously I can do that through playing throughout the week, and I should be okay with that. And the rewards are good enough. Of course, we're going to get at least like 140,000 coins, 120,000 coins worth of stuff. And that's really going to bolster our club over the coming next few weeks. And I have some plans for this club. I'm just not sure whether or not to dive into it. I might talk about that next episode. So I think next episode, guys, I'm going to be discussing our plans for the club. On top of that, we're also going to be doing that MLS SBC, as well as probably going into another draft. I want to kind of play some more draft because I know the packs are pretty useful, and I'm kind of running low on squad fitnesses, so I thought, why not? Let's go and have fun in the draft, and hopefully we can come away with another win. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to smash a big old thumbs up, drop a subscribe down below, and leave a comment. As always, I always respond to you guys' comment, and I love interacting with you guys. Just having a nice little chit chat and all that sort of stuff. And I love to hear about what you guys are doing in your road to glory. So of course, leave the comments down below. Tweet me pictures if you have to. I think my Twitter is in the description below as well. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it, and I will see you guys in the next FIFA 18 Road to Glory episode. So see you guys next time, and peace.
Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find the light in your soul, I'll be there.
That is very nice.